Tonight, on Closer Look, the tragic death of a 15-year-old Keswick boy has left his family and a local hockey community questioning the care he received at South Lake Health. Newmarket Today reporter Joseph Quigley covered this story and joins us tonight from Newmarket. Joseph, tell us about Nolan Ion and what happened that led up to this terrible tragedy that ultimately resulted in his death.
Well, Nolan was an active hockey player, but in the fall he was experiencing breathing problems. His coach told me he just didn't have quite the same amount of breathing capacity. And in November, he was checked out and found to have a walking pneumonia and a punctured lung. He was shut down for a while until after the holiday season, at which point his family tells me doctors cleared him to continue playing. But in the winter season, he still wasn't quite there. His coach said his breathing still wasn't quite the same. And then in recent weeks, he was checked out again by a doctor. They were going to look to get him to a pediatrician. In last Saturday, he was having extreme pain, his family told me, and he was taken to South Lake Health. But after an x-ray of his lungs, the doctors essentially said he seemed to still have recovered from his previous ailment and still seemed to be otherwise okay. His family in the moment questioned that, but he was sent home after a couple of hours. 3 days later, after that hospital visit, he was dead, having experienced a heart attack, or rather a cardiac arrest in gym class on Monday, and then passing away during treatment the next day.
Just a terrible story. Joseph, you mentioned in your story the family's concerns about the initial diagnosis at South Lake Health on that Saturday. Did they provide any additional details about the specific symptoms or issues they felt were overlooked during that visit?
Well, his father recounted that Nolan's mother, who was there at the hospital at the time, did specifically bring up blood clotting because that was something that his father had experienced at a young age as well, to a severe degree, and that was raised as a potential issue, but didn't really go anywhere. The family mentioned that blood work wasn't done at all. It was just the x-ray. His family was apparently questioning a bit about the doctors because in the moment they said that they weren't really content with the idea that he was apparently fine given the pain he was experiencing. But it supposedly didn't really end up going anywhere. His family did mention that at treatment in sick kids, as they were trying to address what happened, they apparently found 5 blood clots in his lungs and a couple in his heart as well, that led to things.
So let's talk about Nolan's prior diagnosis of walking pneumonia and, of course, a punctured lung. Are there any indications, Joseph, from medical professionals on whether those conditions may have contributed to the blood clots and his eventual passing?
There are a number of studies out there that connect pneumonia with cardiovascular disease, but there hasn't been much sent out there from the health community as of yet on this particular story. I expect that may come in the coming days, but we're still waiting to see more of the response to this story. It may be difficult unless we get more health details released by the family and or the health professionals, but it's unlikely that rather the healthcare bodies who look after one will necessarily disclose much given patient confidentiality.
Of course. Now, you mentioned the health professionals. Any response from the local medical community or other healthcare experts regarding this case and the family's call for more precautionary measures when treating children?
I haven't seen response from the medical community, but I am seeing quite a bit of response from the local community as a whole. People sharing their stories about going to hospital, whether South Lake or elsewhere, and not necessarily having their health conditions taken with the degree of seriousness or care that they would like for one reason or another. It is worth noting when stories like this come out that both Southlake and other hospitals out there are experiencing some extreme strain in their emergency departments. Southlake's emergency department has had an ongoing issue with overcrowding, and the hospital has not at this time been able to scale up its hospital space, its emergency room space to meet the demand of the growing population in our area. And that's an ongoing issue that Southlake has been trying to address as well.
All right, let's stick with Southlake for a sec. Any discussions or plans by them to address or investigate the family's concerns beyond their statement of expressing their condolences?
Southlake has not mentioned anything like that. I did specifically ask Southlake whether they would investigate this further, but did not get an indication that they would. I've also reached out to sick kids, although the family does not fault sick kids' side of the treatment. The family did mention the possibility of sick kids possibly investigating. I've reached out to sick kids as well, but have yet to get any information or confirmation on that front.
All right, we know Nolan was a big hockey player playing U16 AA. How has the hockey community rallied around the Ion family, and are there any specific plans for how they hope to turn this tragedy into a bit of a teaching moment, as mentioned by Nolan's coach?
The community is definitely pulling hard behind this family. Yesterday, when I wrote the story, there was $51,000 raised in the GoFundMe. In about 15 hours, it's gone up to $63,000. It's gone up to about over 60,000 now. The funding just keeps coming. We're seeing teams continue to donate money from Georgina, of course, from Stouffville, from Newmarket, from Markham, from all over the place here in York region. The community is expressing their support for this family and this tragedy, and I fully expect that will continue in the days to come. And it would not surprise me to see it go quite wide, this particular fundraiser. I have not heard any details yet as far as how this could be turned into a teaching moment, but it's clear the family does feel that there needs to be care given to youth like Nolan, not for healthcare professionals who look after young athletes to necessarily dismiss health concerns or overlook things based on the idea that they are youth and they can bounce back from things quite easily. It seems apparent that there was a deeper issue here, and the family just wants to see youth get the health care that they need when they need it.
There's Newmarket Today reporter Joseph Quigley from Newmarket this evening on tonight's Closer Look.